He was compassionate, sensitive, and deeply cared about his fellow human beings. He cried when he felt the hurt of another and frequently offered assistance, a kind word, and physical help whenever needed. Stuart was passionate about everything that he did, but mostly he was passionate about radio. He expressed himself through radio. One of my fondest memories was during the Gulf War in 1991. I was deployed with the Army to Saudi Arabia, and Stu sent me 2 cassettes, both recordings of shows he did in my honor at 96X. I cherish those tapes today, as every song and every word had meaning and purpose. Later in life, unbeknownst to me, Stuart had flown a flag over the studio. He flew that flag in my honor, in the honor of my service. On my 60th birthday, he placed it in a case, and that flag is in my office today on a special shelf, and I look at it every day and I remember my brother. Due to my 22 years of military service and life, Stuart and I did not see each other very often, but we tried to talk on the telephone frequently. We were connected as only siblings can be connected, by the heart. 4 years ago, we were talking about Stuart's humor. I celebrated my 60th birthday, and unbeknownst to me, Stu and my family secretly arranged for his surprise visit to my birthday. As you can see, Stuart, Joel, and I, we all share a lot of the same DNA. Anyway, I had to work the morning that he arrived, and I didn't know he was coming. And I came home from work later that afternoon. I walked in the front door of my house, walked past my easy chair, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw someone sitting in my recliner. And my wife Nancy had arranged this, and I looked back for a moment and I saw myself sitting in the chair, and I thought, how can this be if I'm here? And it was then I realized that it was Stu, and he came up from the chair and we hugged and kissed, and within 15 minutes it was like we had never been apart. So where do we go from here? In Judaism we say, blessed are you, God, truthful judge, you've given, you take away, blessed be the name of God. Stuart and I spoke last about 3 weeks before he passed. I'm an avid motorcyclist, and Stuart enjoyed riding too. We had made plans to ride together in Washington. I told him if he could get out to Washington, we would set the world and his illness aside and just enjoy the sounds, sights, and smells of a motorcycle ride through the forests and mountains of Washington. I told him if he was incapable of standing up on a motorcycle, I would ride him on the back of mine. We never got to take that ride. But we did take another. Recently I was riding through Montana on my way to Sturgis, South Dakota, and I could feel Stuart's presence with me. And in my mind, I told him, look through my eyes and see what I saw. It was just a feeling, until I called later that week, and Stuart said, where were you on Saturday? And he said, thank you. It was beautiful. He then said that no matter what, I would always be his big brother and that he loved me. I told him not to be scared and to take strength from me. I know the physical presence of my brother is gone, but his spiritual presence lives on through my mother, through my brother Joel, through Linda, and myself. In Judaism, we hold trees in very high regard. In fact, the book of law, the Torah, is called the tree of life. When the world was created, the Lord's first action was to plant trees. Trees are important to us in so many ways, and there's many parables relating to trees. We require them as an essential element for human beings in a healthy environment. Trees also take a long time to bear fruit, which is why we plant them first. They're powerful symbols of life, death, and renewal. Just like a tree, Stuart represented many of these attributes. He always cared for the long-term needs of people. He had deep roots in love and friendship. He nurtured people, and he was strong for others. In Stuart's honor, we will plant a fig tree on our property in Washington. But we won't eat the fruit. Instead, we'll give all the fruit of that tree away to nourish, help others, and by its sweetness to provide joy. When you're 64, you're entitled to share a little wisdom. What lesson have I learned for this? Because this has been tough for me. I know it's been really tough for Joel. I've had to try to put this in perspective for myself. None of us come into this world with a warranty. Don't waste time. Love, give, laugh, and live. Don't be afraid to say I'm sorry or help someone in need. Because when we come to our end, it's not about the wealth or property we have accumulated. That all stays behind. What we leave behind for a legacy is a kind word, a hug, a helping hand, and a strong shoulder. I want to close with a personal vision I had in a quiet moment shortly after Stuart went into hospice. I'd been crying when I looked on the horizon. I saw all my family, immediate family, who's passed. My grandfather Jack, my grandmother Helen, my father Erwin, my uncle Chuck were all standing side by side. Out front was my mother's sister, my Aunt Shirley. She spoke in a voice strong and clear. And she said, "Stewie, we're waiting for you." Only she called him Stewie. It was at this moment that I knew that Stu was in good hands, and they would help him in his transition to the next world. Stu, you're gone from this world, but not gone for our lives, or gone from our hearts. I wish to give a very special thank you to Linda for your caring, strength, and compassion. You're Stuart's rock, and we love you. Thank you also to my Joel, brother Joel, for taking care of Stuart and for coordinating and hosting this memorial. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
It's not going to be programmed because it was a very tough decision to make, which a lot of his friends had a very hard time with this and still do. But the next person, I'm not even going to say person, this is a family member who's going to come up and speak, has known Stuart for decades in the radio business. I heard about her for the longest time and her best husband. And I was basically forbidden to reach out to some of his friends. But the time came where we met, and it was like we knew each other for life. So to talk about Stuart as a friend and a colleague, I'm going to have Jade Alexander from currently from Beach 103, come to talk about Stuart.
I normally ad-lib when I'm behind a podium, but first of all, I'm a Cuban girl from Kendall, and we tend to talk a lot. So in the interest of time and staying focused, I wrote a few words, and secondly, this one's tough, so bear with me. There are friends and there are Stuarts. Stuarts raise the friendship bar pretty high, and they keep it there forever. My first encounter with Stuart was in the on-air studio as I was finishing my show. I took off my headphones, I turned around, and there was this really big guy with a really big fro standing behind me. To know me is to know that I don't know a stranger. So the first words out of my mouth were, you smell good. What cologne are you wearing? To which he replied, Degree deodorant. That was Stuart. Organically funny, really great one-liners, and really, really, really bad jokes. What wasn't a joke to this amazing soul was loyalty. And if you were on the receiving end, you were set for life. He and I were the total personification of the best of friends don't have to be alike at all. And that was us. Two completely different people on so many levels who spent almost 30 years sharing our lives, careers, marriages, divorces, new loves, celebrations, and illness. And Stuart never once wavered. That bar he set was permanent. He wasn't that guy who called you out when you hadn't picked up the phone in a while. But Stuart was that guy that came running knowing that you needed him before you even knew that you needed him. To his family, Jeffrey and Joel and Joan, I cannot tell you with enough passion or in appropriate enough words what being a part of your son's, your brother's, and your uncle's life has and always will mean to me. Linda, thank you for always being you and for so generously sharing Stuart with all of us. Thursday, June 27th. I had a feeling that was going to be the last time I was going to hug the man that I've known and loved for more than half of my life. I held him so tight. I know I hurt him. I hurt him. And then my husband hugged him right after I did. And he said, "Thanks for taking such good care of her." And today I say the same. Stewie, thank you for taking such good care of me. And I know that you don't plan to stop. God bless you.
Before I go to the next segment, I need a minute. How appropriate Stuart has shown up when I'm getting ready to read his words. And how appropriate that they mark his career on the radio. Stuart, get me through this. Now we are going to remember Stuart in his own words. Stuart wanted to video his eulogy. The first thing he said was, "I'm doing my own eulogy." And he tried several times to do it. He had a studio in the house. But he could never get through it. So, as time came closer, he knew that he had to write it. So, this is verbatim of what Stuart had to say. Dear friends, you are gathered here today to celebrate my life. I've crossed over the Rainbow Bridge. I feel that this is the greatest spot in the universe to be. I get to see my dogs, Sherman, Oliver, and Scruffy, my cats, Boo, Bullet, and Sushi, plus my family's fur kids, who have moved on as well, yours too. I'll look over them and make sure when it's time, they're ready for you too. Please do not feel sad. From day one, I have been at peace with all of this. There are many things I'd like to say, so many people whom I'd love to hug and say thank you very much for making my life a better place. Now my story. From the time I was in kindergarten, I've been somewhat of a problem to the world. I guess you can say it's where I started honoring my talent, my skills. It began in the suburb of Chicago, Skokie to be exact. Kindergarten, my mom was a member of the PTA, and at one meeting, the principal of the school mentioned a young boy who was standing by a patrol guard and just started saying, "cream of bosom soup." Why, I don't know. It just seemed right at the time. In second grade, I was sent to the principal's office for biting a kid. Third grade, the principal's office, instead of throwing snowballs at the targets on the playground, I decided to dip them in water and throw them at one of the kids on the playground. What a better choice. My grand moment, I believe, was in the 5th grade. They were resurfacing the playground and left a few buckets of tar. A couple of other friends and I felt the swings, monkey bars, and merry-go-round needed to be modernized. I remember the head janitor standing by us outside the principal's office saying, "Well, sure look good in those new uniforms." I guess he figured they were going to jail. I took a couple years hiatus, and in my 8th grade, my English teacher, Mrs. Levin, was giving us a test. She was standing over my shoulder, and I turned around and said, "What do you want?" Taken a bit of surprise, she said, "In case you need help." Of course, me being the kind-hearted soul replied, "We don't need your help. These are tests. They gave me 3 days in study hall." That was it for me until I moved to South Florida in 1971. It was there I chose to spread the cheer in a whole new city. In 8th grade, my math teacher didn't like my excessive talking. Thanks to him, I missed honor roll. I was pretty good in junior high, then it was on to high school. In 10th grade, I had a social studies class. I was one of those kids who walked around with a junior boombox before they became popular. I was bored, so I ran the earphone up my sleeve and listened to the radio. I guess the teacher saw me after the movie. He walked up to me and said, "What's the weather going to be?" He says, "I told them they didn't say, but as soon as they do, I'll let you know." He's like, "Okay, smart guy, maybe you can tell us what the movie was about." I told him all about the movie. You see, I had a way of listening to two things at once. He grumbled and finished the class. As I was walking out, he said, "I don't know how you do that, but please don't bring that radio to the class again." In 11th grade, we had required a course called Americanism versus Communism. The teacher I had was this schlubby, meatball-looking kind of a guy with a receding hairline. Rule number 1, those are the ones who are naturally funny. And then there were people like him. So he tried hard and failed miserably. He said something, nobody would laugh. So me, being the upstanding person who couldn't let an opportunity go by, felt it was my duty to one-up him, and it worked. The class laughed their behinds off, which each of us happened with the retort. Surprise to me, the teacher was less than thrilled. He failed me, and I had to make up the class with another teacher, and I passed. As kids in the 70s, my brother Joe and I loved listening to WFUN and then WMYQ. Then FM came out. Yeah, we're that old. Back in the day, to win a contest, you had to dial the number. It was tedious compared to today, but the rewards were worth it. Money, albums, t-shirts, it was just a coup for us. We head down to the radio station once a month to pick up the bounty. One day, I asked to see the disc jockey on air. We chatted a bit. I said, wouldn't it cost less to hire me? That was the beginning of a 22-year career in the broadcast industry. I worked with some of the greatest people that I'm still close to, many this day. At 96X, I-95, Y100, Jerry Clifton, the PD who gave me my first shot on air, Kid Curry, Frank Reed, Lee Logan, Eric Rhodes, Jackie Robbins, Joel Denver, Jack Forsyth, Spider Harrison, and Banana Joe Montone. Cox on the radio, Earl the Pearl, the Madam, Joe Mader, Rockin' Ron, Johnny Dolan, Mark and the Dark Shands, Brian Jacobs, Gnarly Charlie, Ellen Jaffe, Frank Amadeo, Julie Wilson, J.J. Walker, Casey Keating, and Footy. I learned a lot from many of these people, and I am forever grateful to have had them in my life. I know you're missing some of my stories of practical jokes that I've had the honor to prank my radio audiences with over the years. Just tell one of them because there were so many. My greatest on-air prank was also on a Sunday night. So before it went on the air at 8 p.m., I went into the production room and did a few background items to be able to play on air. Through the evening, I'd stop a song, play a pink noise, then that's the sound that you hear when the TVs sign off at night, and did it a few background items to be able to play it on air. That's what you did, and the station signed off, and as well as radios. Around 11:55, I went full blown. Midway through Elton John's Can You Feel the Love Tonight, I hit the button, turned off the song, and started my little prank production. Pink noise, oscillating tones, and on my voice, I slowed down. I said, don't panic, we will come in peace. We need this frequency to contact our mothership. We mean no harm. Kept the pink noise going on at a low level. I gave the station ID and signed off. I hadn't listened to the station all day. The following day, around 2-ish in the afternoon, I get a call from my mom at my regular job. She said that all day on the radio, they were talking about an alien invasion. I started laughing and said I did just one of my many pranks on air that I had to do. I called then Casey Keating, the PD, and I said, I understand that the station is getting calls about something that happened last night. He laughed and said, I knew it was you. You're one of the only ones who could pull that off. As a program director, I have to tell you that it wasn't a good idea and that there could be a lot of trouble for it. He paused and then said, on a personal note, that had to be one of the funniest, greatest on-air pranks that I've ever known. The rest is history. Now the tough part. The time I say to you, see you, we'll meet again. First and foremost, I want to thank my non-wife, which is like being married, but without the paperwork and jewelry. Linda. You've been tolerant since 2001 when we met at Laser Tag. We went for breakfast the next morning, and it was the beginning of our relationship. In the last year, you have been the brunt of my pain and suffering. In reality, you have most likely exceeded my years, a year plus. You are my number one. You suffered through, at times, my childish humor and ways. You did more eye-rolling than a slot machine in Vegas. But I also made you laugh. I don't know where I would be today or at any time since we met if you weren't in my life. Yes, we've had disagreements, but never got into heated battles. I love you very much, and I want to say that I left knowing that I had the greatest person by my side. I will miss you more than anything. There is no way that I could ever repay you. To my immediate family, my mother Joan, I wasn't the greatest son at times, but I know that you always meant well and did what moms do. You became a divorced mom when I was 7, and you busted your ass to provide for us. You will never be commended for raising 3 good kids. I love you. To my brothers Jeffrey and Joel. Jeffrey, we grew apart over the years, as we didn't always see eye to eye. But as we got older, we made up for lost time. I am proud of the man that you are, the family that you have. Along with Nancy, you raised 4 great kids, Josh, Sarah, Zach, and Ollie. Know that I have always loved you no matter what. Give Nancy, my nephews, and nieces a big hug and a kiss. Hold them tight as life changes in a heartbeat. Now, the part about me is not in here. And I know why. Because writing about me was writing about Stuart. And as I said before, the last days were the most difficult for him. I was the constant reminder of what would never be. So, if I cried any tears, that was it. I have so much love that I was able to be there his final weeks. When he needed me the most, I was just a phone call, and I was there in 5 minutes. Linda would call me. But I knew the last phone call was the phone call. And I just pulled into my parking space at work, and I turned around, and we spent a lot of time together after that. So I know in his heart, Stuart didn't have to say anything about me because he's half of who I am. The humor, the looks, the voice, everything. And that's the greatest gift that I can have as a twin. My second family on Linda's side, Dad, Tony, Mom, Janet, sisters Patty, Donna, and brother Bobby. You all accepted me from my very first visit with Linda back in 2003. To the rest of my brood, Ryan, Adam, Jenny, Ben, Gabe, Ann, and the rest of the family, you will never know the love I have for all of you. I hold you very close to my heart. Bobby and Denise, I'll check in on Nick and Tom. We're going to have a blast. To 2 very special friends who are like my family, David A., you are like my brother. We've been through a lot since the 80s growing up. The ups, the downs, the divorces, weddings, death, a new life. At times we had tough love, but it all worked out. Your family, Diane, Indy, and Fallon, have been very special to me. I know we wish we could turn back time to the days of young, but you have a family of your own who are the best. You've done well, and they prove it. I can't thank you enough for your friendship and support since grade 1. I love you all. To Jay Alexander, when you first came to Y100 in the early 90s as an intern for the midday air personality, and I met you, we instantly hit it off. Other than Linda, you have been my voice of reason and my go-to person. We too have shared a lot of ups and downs in life. We've been through a lot. We've agreed to disagree. had strong opposing points of view, but in the end, our bond has been unbreakable, and I cherish every single day over and over for almost 30 years. Amato, you had doubt, but I proved myself, and you became an awesome friend. I thank you for your friendship. Jade, you and Amato have meant more to me than anything in the world. I am grateful that you've been in my and Linda's life. Seeing as I can't see who is there today, I want to give thanks to my TV family from WSVN, Shereen Samuel Hall, if I was single and 25 years younger, Craig Stevens, Robin Simmons, Belkis Murray, Mike DiPasquale, Kirk Wade, Lynn Martinez, from WFOR, Lisa Petrillo. You had helped me in keeping the same, and I thank you all for that. To my extended radio family in Entercom, other than Jade, Kenny Walker, we go back almost as long as Jade and I do. Jason Holliday, John O'Connell, you are a special person. I'm sorry I never had you as my boss. It would have been tormenting love. Dina Lang, Carrie Ann Gruel-Worthy, Luann Buell, Dave Walker, Myra Torres, and the rest of the staff, but you adopted me and the non-stop love and support that you've shown. It's been totally mind-blowing. There are no words to express my appreciation. I can't thank you enough. Mindy Lang, we've known each other for at least 35 years. You are a buddy, a pal, a great friend, especially in the last year. Your kindness, support, and non-stop love. I'm comforted knowing you've been there. Joe Johnson, we've known each other a lifetime as well, but in the last couple of years, it's been pure pleasure. Other than me, Coop is the best thing to ever happen to you. You've done a 180 in life, and you've become a better person due to Coop. Love you, man. Vance Phillips, you big fucking teddy bear. With a heart pure as gold. I have valued our friendship throughout the years, and it only made me love you more. Love to Lori and the kids too. My Colonial Plaza gang. Now, Colonial Plaza was the first place we moved to when we lived here in 1971. Rhonda, Mark, Stephen, Perry, Gary, Liz, and Robin, you were my first friends when we moved out from Chicago. We've lost touch and rekindled our friendships over the last few years. All of you are extremely special, and we had a blast. I'm moving on, knowing that my first friends in North Miami Beach were lifelong and of the best. I love you all, and they're sitting over there. We've known them for 48 years. My real life job. I spent over 20 years in international tool and daving. In 2017, they were bought by Ram Tool. I cannot tell you what it is to have a new company come in and back you 100%. It's incredible. They gave me the opportunity to do what is best for me, like working from home. As part of my mental state, I chose to work at the office. When I wasn't up to it, then I would go home. I want to give a big hearty thank you to Barry and Dean Barnett, the former owners, who also became part of my family. And I cannot thank you enough for your true love, support, and concern. It's been a privilege to work with you and the staff. To everyone else, I know I've left out people, and please understand, it's not my intention. I've gone on long enough, hopefully made you laugh a little along the way. I wish I could thank, hug, kiss each and every one of you. In closing, I leave only a body. A million thanks to each and every one of you for your unwavering support, kindness, free meals, compassion, and most of all, truth from the heart, love. I've lived a life. I have no real regrets. I've made people laugh and cry. I've pissed off many. What you see is what you got. I've been as honest and upfront as possible. I hope when today is over that I stay with you for the rest of your lives. I will be taking part of each one of you with me every day. You mean that much to me. Finally, I have proved that nobody is invincible. I ask you to please, I beg of you, get yourself checked out. My cancer lived in my body 2 years before I started feeling the effects. It hasn't been a fun year, plus it's been meaningful. Don't sell yourself short. You mean a lot to people. Make it last. Please stand, kiss, and hug those around you and tell you you love them. As a last request, keep your eye on Linda for me. She needs your love and support. As I've said and done for years on air, if you can't be good at it. Don't forget, keep your feet on the ground or you'll trip. With all my love, keep smiling, live your life, and be true to yourself and those around you. Stuart. P.S. You received a ticket when you came in. I have taken several possessions of mine and decided to distribute them to some of you. Remember, this is a wake, not a wake. It's a celebration of life, and this is how I chose to do it. If your number's called, and you don't think you want to have a specific item, that's your choice. But what we're going to do is we're going to call the name and have you come up and take something that's on one of these two tables. That's the only way that Stuart can sign off. Again, with deep love and gratitude, I thank you. Before we start calling the ticket, some of the ticket numbers, I have to personally say thank you so much to everybody. Nobody will know how much Linda meant to Stuart. His rock was not even fitted. Linda was Stuart. She would not leave the house for 2 seconds in his final days. She did more, and I've been doing this kind of ministry for almost 29 years. She did more than any minister I've ever seen when it came to attend to Stuart. Selfish is not even a word. She was, Linda, I've always called you my sister-in-law because you may not have that license, but that you want what you want to be. I will always be there. You will always be our family, and so will your family. But if anybody deserves the applause, it's Linda. Being a twin, that's the cards that were dealt. That'll be the thing that'll be the hardest to live with for the rest of my life. My mother lost a child I lost after me. But the outpouring of love from all of you, there's no words. But as Stuart said, get checked. One thing Linda and I have talked about a lot in the last 17 months. Death is something that people feel is taboo. I've been in a lot of last breaths. People, you gotta be prepared. Because number one, it's not fair to the people you leave behind. Hospital forms, living wills, DNRs. And yes, I'm going to get on a little bit of a pedestal because that's what Stuart would do. But you have to have these things. You have to have wills. You have to have communication. You have to have things outlined. It's been almost 6 weeks that Stuart went to his next journey. And every day that I see Linda, I walk in the house and go, what's today's adventure? Because we're finding things. One thing, and she's going to kill me for saying this, one thing that Stuart and my mother had in common, none of her other children have, you both love to shop. We're finding stuff. I don't know how Stuart even had the time. We're still going through things, and this is going to probably be an adventure for the next 6 months at least. But really, people have that it's never going to be me mentality. In the words of Bob Newhart in one of his shows, stop it! You have to have the stuff there, because the people you're leaving behind are going to have enough to deal with the grieving. Don't leave them with all the other stuff that comes with it. Thank God Stuart had the majority of his stuff in order, because I really had to force him to do it, because he thought he was going to be here a lot longer. Yeah. Everything was tomorrow, and it's like, no. But in all honesty, really, people, and share this. If Stuart would have gotten a colonoscopy 2 years ago, he couldn't afford it. You know, and unfortunately, that's kind of the world we're in right now. Not everybody has wonderful health care. Get checked, guys. Even if you feel something before you're 50, get checked, because if Stuart had his colonoscopy, he would have been here today. Yeah. Just basic stuff, but do it, because every life is valuable. And if Stuart didn't want anything, he wants y'all to be around here for a long time. But we'll all see him again. We'll see him again. I know he said he didn't believe in a lot of this stuff, but I really do, because he would have never agreed to me doing this in here. But like I said to him, there's nothing he can do about it anyway. He'll be dead. So Stuart, as I said, Stuart did arrive. In his own way, music was his life. And he's going to be in different parts of the country after today. Part of it is going to be in New York and Florida, and of course, he couldn't do it easy to come to Washington. But some of the things that are out here were all part of Stuart's life. This is from his studio, his days in 96X. The reception is, believe it or not, in Elliott Hall. I didn't even think about that until it was like, oh my God, it's Elliott Hall. It happens to be the name of our hall for the church. But again, thank you all so much for being here and being a part of Stuart's life. When you are over in the reception, share your stories. I know a lot of people wanted to say something, but the minister and me, I don't do anything more than a 1-hour service. So that's just the way it is. But thank you all for being here, and God bless all of you. If you want to take something beforehand or after the reception, but if you go out the door back here and you go straight to the furthest building, that's Elliott Hall. God bless all of you.